Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. Zooming in on the topic of the psychopath as an interspecies predator. It has been oftentimes referred to the state of the psychopath that they are an interspecies predator, that they are so lacking in certain qualities that make someone human that they are almost a subspecies of humankind. Now, the very qualities that make someone human are namely that of empathy and humanity. You might hear this expressed in terms of brotherhood, love of all, equality, being able to connect to or relate to others. Empathy is the ability to really understand how another is feeling. If they've been through a joyous situation or if they've been through a crisis situation, empathy is the ability to understand, feel, and relate to the emotions of another. And the psychopath, as well as the narcissist, is lacking in this ability to understand empathy. So they're not able to really register really the feelings, needs, and interests of another. They have an extreme deficit. And the psychopath, on top of really the narcissist level, when we talk about the spectrum of the personality disorders, the character disorders that comprise the cluster B in the DSM-5R that psychologists will utilize the manual to diagnose and treat those people with personality disorders such as narcissism and psychopathy. The psychopath is also devoid of the ability for morality. So they are lacking in a moral conscience as well. So not only are we dealing with someone who does not have the ability to empathize, but in the psychopath we're dealing with someone who is not able to abide by certain cultural norms of morality, meaning right or wrong. So they are able to forego this sort of general additional thought process that most people will engage in. So for example, morality which is called your conscience, which Sigmund Freud, who is the father of psychoanalysis, he basically termed this the superego. So the superego and your conscience is kind of like, if you think of it like your parents who, when they raised you, maybe, they told you certain moral ways, of behaving, certain right or wrong. You don't tell a lie. You are nice to your friends. You stop at stop signs. You don't take things from your neighbors. You don't cheat in school. You don't hurt other people. You don't beat other kids up. These are what we call our conscience, our right or wrong. And as we grow, we develop this sort of conscience strictly from what we're going to call maybe moral superiors, or generally the adults in our world when we're younger. And then as we grow older, then we internalize this sense of right or wrong. Our morality and our conscience, and as we then apply this in our life, we then become morally directed. We become morally engaged. We are able to use that in our life. So whether it's with relationships, whether it's at our job, whether it's just conducting our everyday personal life, we then conduct ourselves according to certain moral lines. Well, now and then generally that will shape our behavior. It'll shape our thoughts. It'll shape our feelings as well. So the psychopath who does not have this conscience, they are lacking in really which has been found by brain scans of psychopaths to really create a slowed brain activity within certain areas of the brain itself, which are related to morality and impulse control. So in other words, there's not a lot of activity going on in these. So it's what we call a deficit or a lacking. So the The specific areas, involved are the amygdala, the parasympathetic nervous system. These are relating to your emotional centers of your brain. They're the areas that regulate sort of your emotional center, as well as your moral center. So these are more or less kind of shut down. They have a slowed activity, and the psychopath is, basically discovers this when they are a teenager, 13, 14, 15, really, making more sense to them when they hit their age 18 and 19-year-old, and they realize that they are not registering certain emotional qualities that others that they see at their school, their peers, are registering. So they might acknowledge this and say, wow, I see that, certain kids are, they feel uncomfortable cheating on tests, or certain kids, they feel uncomfortable if they should hurt another or bully another. And I really don't feel bad when I cheat. In fact, I really don't feel bad when I steal. I don't feel bad when I, hurt another or cheat on or have a number of different girlfriends or boyfriends. So the psychopath realizes that they have what they interpret as a special gift. So they see this as an advantage, that they're able to then proceed and go through life without these sort of restrictive or inhibitive feelings. So they're able to perform certain acts of violence without feeling guilty. They're able to participate, or they're able to conduct certain juvenile delinquencies without with feeling like they can outsmart people, and they don't have any sort of mechanism that they feel like they want to stop themselves from engaging in delinquent behavior. They're able to then engage in all sorts of lewd and promiscuous sexual acts that are deviant and could be, illegal and hurtful in nature, and not feel that they want to or need to stop themselves. So they engage in this and in these sort of behaviors, but what really ends up occurring, though, is that they then exploit others. They take advantage of others and their ignorance and their innocence and their good nature and their good-sidedness, and they basically, as they say, ignorance is blind, so they're able to utilize this measure to target people. So they're going to focus on people who have certain qualities that they are admiring. So it could be someone's sexuality that they're after. It could be someone's great kind nature that they're after. It could be someone's money that they're after. It could be someone's possessions that they're after. It could be someone's self-esteem that they're after. It could be someone's innocence that they're after. So, and it could be, someone's comfort that they're after. So it's not only physical, it's not only, objects, but it can be certain emotional qualities, spiritual qualities, positions that they're after. And so they will, utilize all these different areas to accomplish what they want, to obtain what they want. So, and oftentimes it's called the interspecies predator. Dr. Robert Hare was really one of the forerunners who developed the psychopathic checklist and had noted and coined this phrase. So when we think of a predator, they wear a shield of dominance. So it's not like they have dominator written all over their head. They are coming in with that known to themselves, and oftentimes cloaked or hidden from others because they don't want to give away their angle, so to speak. But having encountered this, I know we have a lot of victims of these types of people who are doing research now. I want you to, understand this, and please share it with others, especially if you have kids, that there are these types of people who are, basically, coming at organizations, at groups. They're coming into people's relationship circles, romantically, professionally, who are seeking to lay waste others. So especially, in emotional, psychological, physical way, it can be extremely detrimental and be very crippling for others, especially when they're involved with them for, you know, months and years, and, you know, oftentimes their devastation can be irreparable. So when we think about a predator, they are going to exploit and take advantage of the needs of others. They'll use many sort of tactics that will work to brainwash, gaslight, and really sort of mix up others. So they're completely severed in the middle. So there's not an integrity whole person when you're talking about a psychopath. You're talking about someone who really is very their foundation is not one of wholeness and love and sort of, you know, humanity. So you have to realize that this interspecies predator is nothing to play around with or take lightly. Likewise, if you've been victimized, don't make light of it. Get yourself the help that you need. But realize that the interspecies predator is someone who is seeking to do exactly that, prey on others. And just like I give reference in my previous videos, you know, if you think of a lion in a jungle and they're running after a gazelle, they're running after you know, a jaguar, and they're trying to attack that antelope, they're trying to attack that gazelle. It's not like they're just, you know, there to maim it. They're there to maim and destroy. So realize the seriousness and severity of this, and please take action steps to learn about the different qualities that I have here on my channel. Please reference some of the other traits of the narcissist and the psychopath so you can be better armed and prepared to protect yourself and handle situations after having exposed these types of people in your life. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussions, and support.